Hi everyone, welcome to a brief lecture on the second essay for English 101. This assignment is entitled Problem Solution Essay. This assignment has two specific goals. The first goal is to identify a problem that needs a solution. In order to identify a problem that needs a solution, you'll want to consider what we might mean by the word problem. I want you guys to think past something that is small and think about a, quote unquote real world problem or issue, a problem that affects a large group of people, a problem that extends beyond your personal circumstances. The second goal for this assignment is to offer a solution. That solution should include lots of detail and some information on the implementation process. As we go through the rest of this discussion, we will discuss structure and outlining. Before we get to the structure and outlining of this assignment, I want to consider the genre. So the genre of this essay is exposition. And there are two definitions that I pulled from dictionary.com. You can see the source at the bottom of the slide. The two definitions really speak to the heart of this assignment. The first says, writing or speech primarily intended to convey information or to explain. Your goal is to write an essay that conveys information on the problem and explains not just why the problem is a problem, but also what the solution for this problem is or should be. The second definition is the state of being uncovered, revealed, or otherwise exposed. And this really speaks to the idea that you should reach beyond your personal circumstances and consider a problem that may affect a large group of people. Uncover that problem for the reader. Dig into the problem and really expose the issue itself and why it is a problem that requires a solution. In terms of structure and organization, you will begin your essay as you always do with an introduction or an introductory paragraph. In this paragraph, you should aim to identify the problem itself. If it is an unknown problem, explain that in detail to the reader. If it's a more common or familiar problem, you may not need to explain the problem in as much detail, but you might want to offer an example to help illustrate your point to the reader. In both situations, your goal is to convince the reader that this is a problem and a solution is absolutely necessary. The second step to accomplish in your introduction is to include a thesis statement. For this essay, your thesis statement should preview the solution itself. As the essay progresses to the body, what you'll want to consider is, just like we've discussed previously, a 5-paragraph essay. Now, you aren't required to write a 5-paragraph essay. You will notice on the assignment document that you've been given a length requirement in terms of page numbers. So the next 3 slides are suggestions on what you might include if you choose a 5-paragraph essay. For the first body paragraph, establish context for the problem. So this goes a little bit further than explaining the problem. It goes a little bit further than just illustrating that there is a problem to the reader. My suggestion here is to consider the W questions or the journalistic questions. The W questions are who, what, where, when, why, and how. A few ways to think about these questions might be illustrating who is affected by this issue. Is it a specific community or a specific group of people? What is the effect on this group, or how are they affected by this problem? You might also consider where this issue occurs or takes place. That could be a geographical location or a historical location, more of a temporal location. If this is a problem that extends many decades, you might consider establishing context by providing a brief overview of the history of this problem. If this is a newer problem, you might consider stating that this is a newer problem and offering an example that the reader could connect with. As you move to body paragraph 2, your goal is to identify a solution for the problem itself. Explain the solution to the reader, and explain how the solution should be implemented. Offer as many detailed steps to implementation as you can. In this case, while I do use the word steps, I want you to maintain paragraph form, include a topic sentence, subsequent sentences that aim to develop the topic sentence, and a transition. We don't want to write in a bulleted list. as we are still practicing writing the essayistic structure. That's one of the main focuses of this course, so we want to maintain paragraph form. As you consider steps for the solution, try to be as critical as possible. Ask yourself with each step, does step 1 lead to step 2? Or am I missing something? Make this flow well by utilizing transitional words throughout each sentence. As you move to body paragraph 3, your goal will be to emphasize the need to solve the problem. While this may have been touched on earlier in the essay, and most likely it was, take a little bit of time to answer this question. What would occur if this problem was ignored? What would happen if no solution were ever implemented to this problem? Now, this is not an opportunity to practice fear mongering so much as it is an opportunity to really drive your point home and to again persuade the reader that not only do you have the right idea, you've thought this through and you've considered the lasting impact of this problem if it were to not be solved or addressed. For the conclusion, I think we'll take a more traditional approach here. There are many different techniques to writing a good concluding paragraph. For an essay like this, in which you are discussing a real world issue, a social problem, a call to action may be a good technique to practice. A call to action can allow you to propose the action to the reader, engage the reader on an emotional level, practice your appeal to pathos, ask the reader to get involved. And as per usual, make sure that you're answering any unanswered questions in your concluding paragraph. The conclusion should always close the essay, answer unanswered questions, and essentially close the package in a concise and meaningful manner. As you're working on this assignment, if you have questions on the topic you select, the problem that you want to write about, please let me know. And refer to the readings for weeks 2 and 3, as those essays focus on problems and solutions as well.